You're not controlled by force. You're controlled by structure. No chains, no threats, just systems so seamless you'd never think to question them. Your autonomy wasn't stolen, it was redesigned. You are not controlled by dictators or tyrants. You are controlled by interfaces, incentives, and systems that were designed long before you learned to navigate them. This episode exposes how modern institutions engineer obedience without violence. Control today is not enforced, it's designed. And the most dangerous prisons are the ones that feel comfortable. If you want to understand how autonomy is dissolved in the modern world, and how to position yourself outside the system's leverage, this episode is your turning point. Subscribe if you're ready to see the machinery, not the illusion. The modern world does not restrain you with chains. It restrains you with interfaces, contracts, and expectations. Your behavior is shaped long before you realize it, not by threats, but by design. You think you choose your actions. In reality, you choose from options the system pre-selected for you. This is the architecture of control. Quiet, invisible, psychological, and so embedded in your life that questioning it feels like questioning reality. The world isn't ruled by tyrants. It's ruled by frameworks, the structures you obey without noticing. You believe you're free because no one gives you explicit orders. But autonomy today is not removed through violence. It's dissolved through convenience. Your phone curates your identity. Your bank dictates your risk tolerance. Your job defines your waking hours. Your debts determine your tolerance for injustice. Your social media shapes your worldview before you form it. You are not instructed. You are nudged. Corporations learned long ago that the easiest way to control a population is to eliminate friction, to make compliance effortless and alternatives unthinkable. This is why Amazon trains you to expect delivery within a day. Apple's C used to ecosystem dependency. Google completes your attention better than your own discipline. Employers offer benefits to make leaving more expensive. All these systems have one thing in common. They make disobedience inefficient. When the path of least resistance is also the most profitable for institutions, a subtle form of obedience emerges, one that feels like choice. Control today is not maintained through authority, but through architecture, a fusion of incentives, constraints, and psychological defaults. There are 4 dominant structures that govern modern society. The more you understand them, the harder you are to manipulate. The economic cage. Money is the oldest structure of control. Not because it exists, but because scarcity does. When rent consumes half an income, inflation erodes purchasing power, debt follows you across decades, wages stagnate while profits rise, healthcare becomes a subscription, retirement becomes a fantasy, the population becomes obedient out of necessity. Economics is not designed to oppress. It is designed to stabilize the labor force. Your fear of financial collapse is the operating system that runs your behavior. This is why companies prefer competitive salaries to actual ownership. Ownership creates independence. Salaries create predictability. And predictability is control. 2. The digital cage. Your attention is harvested more precisely than any resource on Earth. Every tap, pause, swipe, and hesitation is recorded, analyzed, and weaponized to shape future behavior. The algorithm doesn't control you directly. It predicts you. And prediction is the root of manipulation. This leads to the most powerful control mechanism of the digital age. You behave like the version of you that the system expects. Spotify predicts what you want to hear. YouTube predicts what you want to learn. Instagram predicts what you envy. Amazon predicts what you desire. Your identity becomes reactive, a mirror of computational inference. When a system can anticipate your desires better than your own introspection, freedom becomes statistical. You remain inside the boundaries of what algorithms deem probable. 3. The social cage. Humans fear exclusion more than hunger. Corporations weaponize that instinct elegantly. You are conditioned to avoid anything that risks losing a job, disrupting relationships, lowering social status, generating public criticism. This is why workplaces push culture fit, why social platforms reward conformity, why cancel culture feels like public execution. The system doesn't need to punish you. Your peers will. You self-regulate. You self-censor. You stay inside the boundaries of group expectation. Control becomes decentralized. The population polices itself. 4. The convenience cage. This is the most insidious one. The easier life becomes, the more power you unknowingly delegate. You don't remember phone numbers. You don't store knowledge. You don't calculate routes. You don't manage files. You don't hold cash. You've outsourced your cognitive independence. One convenience at a time. When a system makes life effortless, your ability to resist it deteriorates. Convenience is not a service. It is a leash. Escape does not come from rebellion. It comes from awareness, from learning to see the architecture beneath the surface. A post-stoic strategist doesn't fight the system, he studies it. He recognizes its incentives. He positions himself at the leverage points instead of the compliance points. Here are the principles. Principle 1. Never confuse comfort with freedom. Comfort is often the byproduct of dependence. Freedom requires the capacity to walk away, emotionally, financially, socially. If you cannot walk away, you are not free. You are hired. Principle 2. Build parallel options. Control collapses when you have options. A second income stream, a second skill set, a second network, a second strategy. The system governs the predictable. Be unpredictable. Not in behavior, in capacity. Principle 3. Maintain information sovereignty. Most people outsource their thinking. You must do the opposite. Read primary data. Understand incentives. Challenge narratives. Look past headlines. Control feeds on ignorance. Awareness restores optionality. Principle 4. Lower your cost of living. The lower your overhead, the higher your autonomy. Minimalism is not aesthetics. It is leverage. When you need little, you fear nothing. Principle 5. Build systems that reduce dependence. Systems create autonomy. Without systems, freedom is unstable. Learn to automate income. Learn to generate distribution. Learn to store, manage, and allocate capital. Learn to operate without constant validation. Systems protect you from the architecture of control, especially when they outlive your time and energy. Control in modern society is not sinister. It is structural. If you expect the world to prioritize your freedom over its stability, you misunderstand the nature of systems. Society isn't built to liberate individuals. It's built to maintain continuity. The architecture of control exists because civilization needs predictability, predictable labor, predictable consumption, predictable compliance. But within that architecture, there is always room for the strategist, the one who sees the game not emotionally, but clinically. You don't escape the system. You outgrow its leverage over you. You navigate its currents without drowning in its expectations. You use its tools without absorbing its identity. You play the game while remembering it as a game. Freedom is not the absence of control. Freedom is the ability to choose which controls you accept and which you transcend. In the end, autonomy in the modern world is built, not granted. And those who understand the architecture of control are the only ones who ever move beyond it.